Let's break this down into two key parts. Part 1. How systemic racism contributed to single-parent households in Black America. Key point. The rise of single-mother households among Black Americans is deeply rooted in structural racism, not personal or cultural failings. 1. Slavery and the destruction of family bonds. Black families were intentionally broken apart by enslavers for profit and control. Enslaved people couldn't legally marry. Children were sold away from mothers. This set a foundation of family instability imposed by white supremacy, not by choice. Scholar Angela Davis. The Black family has always been under attack since slavery, not because of moral deficiency, but because of systemic disruption. 2. Jim Crow laws and labor exploitation. After slavery, Black men were criminalized via black codes and convict leasing. Many Black men were imprisoned for minor or fabricated offenses, removing them from families. Low wages and job discrimination kept Black men economically unstable, making it hard to support households. 3. Welfare policy and the man in the house rule, 1935 to 1960s. During the Great Depression and New Deal, Black families were often excluded from federal benefits. By the 1960s, some welfare policies included man-in-the-house rules. If a woman was receiving aid and a man was found living with her, even unemployed, she could lose benefits. This discouraged cohabitation or marriage in poor Black communities. Welfare programs often policed Black women, reinforcing the idea that men were dispensable. 4. Mass incarceration, 1970s present. The war on drugs disproportionately targeted Black communities. From the 1980s on, Black men were imprisoned at 5 to 6 times the rate of white men. Incarceration removed fathers from households, reduced marriage prospects, and created long-term barriers to employment. Statistic. By 2000, 1 in 3 Black boys born that year was projected to be incarcerated at some point. 5. Economic marginalization. Black men have consistently faced higher unemployment and wage gaps. This has made them less marriageable in economic terms, leading to a rise in single-parent families, not because women don't want partners, but because partners are systematically locked out of economic life. Concrete connection. Systemic racism criminalized, excluded, and economically disempowered Black men, while punitive welfare policies destabilized family units. These are not cultural choices. They are policy-driven outcomes of structural racism. Part 2. Systemic racism in housing, before and after the 1968 Fair Housing Act. Key point. Even after the 1968 FHA, Black Americans have continued to face housing discrimination, wealth theft, and racialized barriers to home ownership. 1. Redlining, 1930s to 1960s. The federal government, HOLC FHA, mapped cities by risk level. Black neighborhoods were marked red, hazardous, leading to loan denials. Whites got access to low-interest home loans. Black people were excluded. Between 1934 and 1968, 98% of FHA loans went to white families. 2. The GI Bill, post-World II, provided home loans and education benefits to veterans, but Black veterans were often denied these benefits at the local level. White veterans used the GI Bill to build intergenerational wealth through suburban homeownership. Black veterans remained confined to rental housing in segregated urban areas. 3. Blockbusting and contract buying. Real estate agents would scare white homeowners into selling cheap, then resell to Black buyers at inflated prices. Black families were denied mortgages, so they had to buy homes on contract. No equity. Miss a single payment? You lose everything. This robbed Black families of wealth-building opportunities. In Chicago alone, Black families lost between $3.2 and $4 billion due to contract buying. Coates, The Case for Reparations, 2014. 4. After the 1968 Fair Housing Act. The FHA made housing discrimination illegal, but enforcement has been weak. A 2012 HUD study found Black renters were shown 11.4% fewer rental units than whites. Black homebuyers were told about 17.7% fewer homes. Home ownership gap today. White home ownership, 74%. Black home ownership, 44%. This gap is larger today than in 1968. 5. Ongoing practices. Appraisal discrimination. Homes owned by Black people are often undervalued. Loan discrimination. A 2021 study found Black applicants were denied mortgages at double the rate of white applicants, even with similar credit. Predatory lending. Black families were targeted with subprime mortgages during the 2000s housing boom. In 2006, Black borrowers were 3.5 times more likely to receive a high-cost mortgage than white borrowers. Summary: systemic factor, impact on Black families. Slavery and Jim Crow, destabilized families, normalized state removal of Black fathers, welfare policies, discouraged two-parent households via benefit rules, mass incarceration, physically removed fathers and reduced marriageability. Redlining and GI Bill, denied wealth building through homeownership, contract buying and appraisal bias, extracted wealth, and kept Black families in debt. Final thought. You can't blame Black family structure or low homeownership on personal decisions without acknowledging that the playing field was intentionally rigged. The pattern is not cultural, it's structural and generational.